Top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world.
Say amen.
Amen.
Y'all not the church? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Worst Ones podcast. My name is Rudy Wilson. I am a preacher's kid. Got Terry Wayne. He's a PK. Janessa, PK. Kellie, PK. Yeah, we're here once again. I don't know. Doing what we do best.
What an introduction.
I was about to try to pinpoint like what we always talk about, but we don't. We literally talk about some random stuff sometimes.
We just talk about everything.
Yes. Either way, welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to our podcast. Thank you for the millions of you who listen each week. Just flooding us with comments. We cannot respond to all of your emails. I apologize.
We up to 4 million now? Is that what you said before? 4 million?
I said 1 million this time, but we can do 4. That's fine. So 4 million. All 4 million of you on the dot, not a person more. We appreciate you listening. How's everybody doing, man? Terry Wayne, let's start with you since
I'm doing fantastic.
Yeah.
The budget's getting approved for my other project. It's looking like 4 million is going to be the
number of the day. 4 million.
$4 million or viewers or
dollars.
Nice.
Which our production will get a quarter of that. So
I mean that's a pretty big quarter.
Awesome. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, Netflix don't play.
That's a big ass quarter.
Yeah.
Cool beans, man.
Yeah, that's cool. Congrats.
Well, that's what happens when you talk about racism and topical issues. That's why I'm trying to bring it here.
That's when you talk about if Jesus would storm the Capitol.
Exactly. You gotta break the mold. And whether Jesus gets morning wood or not.
Right.
You know? These are the questions that America wants to answer.
Gotcha. No doubt. Well, congrats to you on that, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. It's been a good week. I'm very happy about it.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Miss Rowland, how about yourself?
I'm doing good. Happy to be back. Last week was kind of crazy, so I had to miss podcasts, but I missed y'all.
Oh yeah, you was partying all week. Y'all had birthday central and
birthdays,
and
weddings.
Right.
Weddings that won't last a year. But the party was fun.
Right.
Yeah. So when I get married, I'm gonna need you not to claim that over my life.
Right.
I won't put that evil on you.
First of all, Kellie, you need to get over your dad trying to get you married first. You don't even want him to do that. You talking about getting married. He's trying to help you out and you shutting him down.
Yeah.
Let Kevin Lee speak up for you.
I may need to. I may have to consider that.
No, you need to go sow some oats.
No, Kellie, you should do that. Miss Kev on stage. She's doing
Are you mess with Kev on stage, you know? The Kev on stages family? I'm talking to Janessa.
What about him?
I was just asking. I didn't know you listened to them or watched them, him.
That's
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But no, Miss Kev on stage is having this dating show thing, and you have to be either in Georgia, Houston, or New York. Kellie,
there you go.
Kev on stage.
Go show them what that thing do.
Kev on stage is basically he's a comedian he's pretty big now, but he started off like him and his brothers. They used to make like shouting videos, like different ways you can shout or whatever. Almost kind of like church comedy, and he still does clean comedy, if you will. Like he doesn't like use profanity, but he does talk about adult stuff. And so his wife Melissa, who has kind of created her own brand, she just basically uses, instead of Mrs. Fredericks, which is their last name, she just uses Mrs. Kev on stage, which is whatever. And so that's who Janessa is talking about right now with the dating thing.
Gotcha.
Yes, I'm gonna send you the
link. But she
Kellie.
uses Mrs. and then his name. That's like some Handmaid's Tale shit right there.
or that's just what you do in real life when you get married. She became Mrs. Fredericks, which is his last name, so she just stuck with it.
I guess I've been married. I was married for 7 years. She never took my name.
Well, you should probably man up, Terry. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just
What's
kidding.
in a
I'm
name?
just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding.
You give me my blowjob every 2 days, and I'll be fine. Like you keep your own name. You know.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, it's fine.
Maybe she'll take your name. Now you got a quarter of $4 million. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't. The production does, but that's
Mrs.
enough.
Wayne. All right. Oh no, Wayne's not your last name. Was Wayne your middle name or what was it? Terry's your middle name.
No. Terry's my first name. Wayne is my middle name. My last name is a secret.
Right. Yeah. Terry's Wayne's the middle name. Gotcha. All right, Miss Lee. What about yourself?
I'm doing well. Can't complain. Yeah, that's about it.
No brunches this weekend.
I had a little brunch at the house. It was nice. Yeah,
That ain't brunch.
Indoor COVID brunch.
You can't have a brunch at the house.
I had a nice little R&B brunch at the house.
I'm just saying it ain't brunch if you make the eggs yourself. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't make it. I got it ordered in.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, I got it ordered in.
That's fine.
I mean, technically, to have brunch, all you really need is mimosas. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah, right. We had some
mimosas coming in. That's brunch.
You know, I'm more of a Bloody Mary guy, but that's
we had the little R&B music in the background. Had a whole R&B brunch.
Did y'all have chicken and waffles? That's what I want to know.
Oh God, that's my favorite.
We did not have chicken and waffles.
Oh man,
you missed out, Rudy, because Bebe's Chicken and Waffles used to be down here, but they closed up like 2 years ago. Oh my God, it was so good. It was better than Roscoe's in LA. Better.
I had never even went to Roscoe, believe it or not. The whole time I was there, I
went out there. The first time I went out there was point of pride. I had to go to it, right?
Yeah. No, for sure.
But Bebe's was better down here. But
I mean, I can believe it. Being called Bebe's, their
chicken was a little spicier. It was a little closer to Popeye's spicy chicken on top of the waffle, and that just added another level to it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that.
See, I'm only white on the outside. I'm from Memphis. I'm blacker than all y'all.
Technically, we're all the same on the inside.
Oh my God, you Mother Teresa from the UN over here. I'd like to buy the world a Coke.
We are
Sing
the world
in harmony.
We are the people.
Hey, so just before we move on, I do want to ask Janessa, did you want to use this platform to talk about the story we was just talking about, or should we just move on?
I missed it. I got here late, so I want to know.
I don't want to throw him out there.
I mean, technically, it's already out there. I mean,
you don't
the worst people who have to find out have already found out.
Right. We'll bring them back.
You don't want to throw them out there to our 4 million listeners? That's what it is?
I mean, we said we needed an update anyway, so we can bring them right on back.
We do need an update.
We do need an update.
And being the fact,
I don't know what the hell's going on.
Basically, it's just a college experience that happened with her brother, who we met when he came on last time. But we'll let him come back.
What? Explain that different. You can't say a college
her brother who came on the siblings episode.
I remember. Yeah,
he said. Yeah, he had a college experience.
Okay.
That we're not gonna. Yeah,
he had a college.
Had a college experience
separate from Janessa. They didn't have one together. All right,
correct.
Good. All right.
Correct.
I know people do some wild shit in college. You can't just hang that out there like, oh, they had a college experience together and then just throw it.
My bad. No, not a college experience together. He had his own college experience, but we were just kind of talking about it off air, but we'll let him say it on camera.
That's fine. Yeah, I thought this was gonna go into like some Cain and Abel shit.
No.
Well, they only had Cain and Abel, so somebody banged their mom. That's all I'm saying. Like,
that's in the Bible.
Yeah,
that's a whole other podcast.
All right.
Was Mari in the Bible too?
We started with Adam and Eve, and now we got 7 billion people. How do you think that happened?
I mean, I don't know if them banging their mom is the resolution. I don't know if that explains all the different race and ethnicities.
Well, no, that's the Tower of The Tower of Babel is
I
how
thought
we
they
get
had
race and
sisters though.
ethnicities.
They just weren't mentioned. And am
No.
I having echo?
Yes.
Oh, I must just don't hear y'all because I don't be hearing it. I hear it on the video, but I don't hear it right now. Like I don't hear any echo. I wonder if it's
heard just for a second.
Oh,
Now I hear my
Echo? Yeah.
I don't hear it. But if they hear it, I guess they can let you know. I
Y'all
can't
can't just
really
use the iPhone? What's the matter with you?
I think she's also using a microphone.
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh, you. So now you
okay.
sound low.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Still an echo?
That's much much better. Much better.
now Terry's the echo, but all good.
Really?
What? I got the echo now?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Dang, I still don't hear any of this. All right, well, we'll just echo our way down the road.
Excuse me.
Is that any better? Do I still have an echo?
We'll just everybody. So what we can do is everybody can just try to mute maybe while one person is talking, and maybe that'll solidify. I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna echo this thing right over to Janessa because I want you to be able to kind of explain what we were going to talk about today.
Now I just gave a suggestion.
Well, you know that's kind of what happens when you but I mean I understood the question, but I guess I kind of want you to just explain where you kind of brought up the question from. So I'll go ahead and just present it. I'll present the question. I'll let you kind of elaborate. So and I don't even know if I spelled any of this right, but should secular music artists create gospel music is the overall basis of the question.
And she's referencing specifically like Kanye West's gospel album. And I know Prince did a religious album. It was based on that.
Justin Bieber actually just put an EP out on Easter. That was a gospel album.
But ain't that what he doing now, or is he back? He's straddling.
No, because he just put another album out before the gospel Easter EP. That was an album called Justice. That's not gospel at all.
Okay. And this album, the Justice album came during the time when he was married and him and his wife were like, I guess, devout Christians and all that. It came during that era.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me see. Justice literally just came out maybe like 2 months ago.
Yeah, but he's Canadian, so it doesn't even matter.
Okay.
Fuck Canadians.
So just whether it's Justin Bieber, Kanye, whoever, where did this question stem from, Janessa? So our viewers can understand.
Well, I mean, I was thinking about questions, but actually, the Justin Bieber album kind of was, I guess, the beginning of where I got the idea from, because there's songs that I like on the Easter. I don't even know what it's called. The gospel album that he put out on Easter. But then, of course, his current single, and I don't know what the name is, shows you how much of a Justin Bieber I am. He's out here cussing, talking about his wife's the baddest bitch, and he likes his weed from California and his peaches from Georgia. And
oh yeah, that is his song, huh?
Yeah,
California. Yeah.
When he says peaches from Georgia, I don't think he's talking about fruit. I'm starting to believe that's something else.
Yeah, you're a smart man, Terry.
Yeah, appreciate it.
You're muted, Kelly.
Oh no, so yeah, I was just thinking like, man, that's kind of, heavy on replay, but then you have this heavy, Team Jesus album. So I was YouTubing real quick. The release date of Justice was March 19th, 2021, and then the Easter album came out,
Oh, so Justice just came out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was April 4th.
Right. So like 2-3 weeks later, you now coming out with this Easter album. And I think, I'm secure enough in my faith to be able to separate the two. Like, right. But if you are not a Christian, and your first exposure to gospel or Jesus or whatever is through, his Easter album, how does that impact you? and not even just him. I think Snoop Dogg put out a gospel.
Snoop Dogg won an award for his gospel. He won like I think maybe it was a BET award or something, or one of them awards shows like he won for his best gospel album.
Yeah, like that's a real thing. Snoop Dogg got a gospel album. I know there was a lot of controversy about Kanye's gospel album.
Sunday service, even.
Yeah, even his Sundays, like the whole concept.
Yeah.
Even him like selling his sweatshirts that said like Jesus and were ripped. He was selling them for like $50, $60.
It said Jesus what?
I think it just said
the shirt was ripped and it said Jesus on it.
Well, yeah, but why would that be a bad thing?
Well, you know, some folks were saying like he was basically making money. He was just trying to make money off the church. Like he wasn't for real about.
Oh yeah, because that's never happened.
Yeah, no. So that's what I'm just saying. Like, I don't necessarily want to say it's becoming more trendy. Like, is that the thing? Is gospel music trendy for secular music? Is that I'm going to get the Black or the church community's coins because I know that's what they want to hear?
Well, let's separate real quick right in the beginning. There's a difference between Christian music and gospel music, because when you say the word gospel music, I think of a big Black woman, middle-aged, belting to the rafters with a choir behind her. That's what I think of when I hear gospel music. When I hear Christian music, I hear a bunch of 40-year-old white men wearing like leather straps around their arms, trying to be soulful. You know what I mean? Like casting crowns and that kind of stuff. You know, like because they're still singing like they want to get laid. You know, like. So I mean, there's plenty of people that take advantage, you know. But hey, look, if you could sing some Christian music to a Justin Bieber fan or some Canadian piece of whatever, and then or Kanye West gets a couple of guys to listen to it. I mean, what's the harm in it? You know, nobody's telling you, like nobody's forcing you to buy it, you know. Same thing could be said for Mel Gibson putting out the Passion of the Christ as if it's his lifelong dream or whatever. No, he wanted to make money, and he's like, here's people to buy out blocks of tickets, you know. So he financed it, and then it went on to like make Matrix money, you know, like $300 million.
But see, Mel Gibson and the Passion of the Christ is slightly different than whoever made
it's torture porn and anti-Semitic. What
was the Russell Crowe? He made what? He was in Noah, I think it was.
Yeah, no, that was another.
So right. So what I'm saying is, so for Passion of the Christ, like I feel like even if you're an atheist or whatever, I mean, I feel like if you are just say, you know, 'cause that was almost low key like a biopic for Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like it was almost like
it absolutely was not.
So no,
because
I'm saying
they didn't do the Sermon on the Mount, they didn't do the healings, they didn't do anything. All they did was the 3 days where he got tortured. And
that's what the movie was about. I mean, when you make a movie, you have to choose what story you're going to tell. Even if you tell the James Brown story, Michael Jackson story, whoever, Tupac story, you're never going to tell every aspect of their life. You're going to tell.
I understand. I think Patton Oswalt said it best. The comedian Patton Oswalt, he did a bit on it where he's like, that's like if I said I want to make a biopic about the life of Albert Einstein, but I only want to do it on the 4 days where he had really bad food poisoning and he was just on the toilet, just vomiting and shitting left and right. And that's it. None of the science, none of this, none of the good stuff. Just let's do all the worst things about his life. Like
right, but he didn't. That's what I'm saying. But that's not what happened. He didn't tell the him dying on the cross wasn't necessarily the worst part. I mean, it was a bad part. I'm saying it was a bad. I'm saying, but that's not a bad story to tell because it's not like it ends with him just dead. Like it shows that you know what the Bible says, which he risen. But as opposed to Noah. Like they just took the story of Noah and was like, we're going to do our own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like we're going to keep the basis. So that's why I'm trying to say, like, I do think that what Mel Gibson did, whether he's a Christian or whatever, I don't think it's anything wrong with just say telling.
Well, I like pointing that movie out.
Hold on, Terry. Hold on. I'm saying I don't think it's a problem with telling a Bible story, whether you believe the story or not. You feel what I'm saying? But if you are using just say biblical stuff to then throw your own sauce on it to make a point or make art or whatever the case may be. I think that's where this question is more related to, because, and I don't know any Justin Bieber song like that, Christian or non-Christian. I don't know, but I will say that if it's a question of him making a secular album and then a Christian album, I can't say I'm that deep into tripping on that. But if he just say was like using gospel songs and like, you know, changing, you know, Take Me to the King to like Take Me to the Trap or something, you know what I'm saying? That would be a little far-fetched. You know what I'm saying? Like, now
Why
you're just
is
doing
that
what you want.
far-fetched? Right.
No,
you know, the funny thing
because
is,
I'm saying if you're doing, I'm saying far-fetched in the sense of you're that's you taking it on your own route. I'm not saying that's right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm just saying far-fetched in the sense of you're now stepping away from the point that the Bible or the Christian principle or whatever they were trying to prove. You're now going away from that to prove something else. You know what I'm saying? Which is whatever. But
well, you know who they used to say this about, right? You know who they used to make this very same argument about was Ray Charles. Ray Charles, when he first started out,
but he did do that though. He used gospel music and turned it into
he mixed gospel music, with R&B to create his own sound.
Yeah,
that was it. But he wasn't talking about Take Me to the Trap or Take Me to the King. You know, he just he used the riffs and the melodies, and that was it. But they accused him of the same thing.
Right, but I don't know if we're necessarily accusing anybody right now. I think I think she's more or less asking the question of should the two mix, you know, and is it helpful or is it hurtful, especially if this is your introduction.
And just before we leave movies, by the way, Charlton Heston made Planet of the Apes, but he also made the 10 Commandments, and both of those were great. And The Passion of the Christ is just a crappy movie. Like, just as a movie fan, it's just boring.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but that's neither here nor there whether you liked it or not. It's about. Go ahead, Kelly. You're on mute, Kelly.
I was throwing that in there.
Well, and I was gonna say too, the difference that I see in the music and the movies, I feel like in movies you're acting, you're playing a role. Where in music, I feel like that's something that comes more from, you know, your heart, your spirit, something that you've kind of created yourself to give to the world. Versus acting, I'm playing a role for this 2-hour movie, for this TV show. I think for me, two things. One, I think it goes back to what Janessa said earlier about just your maturity in Christ and being able to separate the two.
Right.
I didn't know that Justin Bieber had a gospel album, but he had an album. I haven't listened to a lot of Justin Bieber, but he had an album 2-3 albums ago that I enjoyed. And I wouldn't mind listening to see, you know, what the gospel album comes from. But I feel like when you're doing gospel music or Christian music, it's for me, it's the place of in which it comes from, the anointing that comes out when you're recording the music, when I'm listening to the music. Mm-hmm. So I think that's one thing, you know, maturity to separate the two. The second thing, I think when I read the topic, it kind of reminds me back to the conversation we had about pastors who, you know, on the pulpit preach this, that, or whatever, but then in their personal lives, you know, drink or smoke or cheat on their wives or, you know, or whatever that people disagree with or is a sin or whatever. So I think to me, it's kind of the same.
It's the hypocrisy is what you're talking about.
It's and I think you just got to come to a place of a spiritual maturity where, you know, I'm going to take this music for what it is. You know, I said, when I get off here tonight, I'm gonna listen to little Justin Bieber, see what he got going on.
It's basically Despacito with Jesus in there. That's all it is. Yeah.
You said, say it again.
I said it's basically just Despacito with Jesus.
With Jesus in there. Jesus Christ. Right. Because I'm sure it doesn't back any real. It's no real anointing backing it. Justin Bieber can barely sing. So
oh shit, Usher would disagree. Usher would disagree with that.
Usher can sing. Yeah. Justin Bieber. Now that first baby, I was on it, baby. I love that little jam. Like I said, he had a nice album.
I think to your point, his voice never matured from there. He still sounds like that when he sings now.
Yeah,
he just had some good songs.
Yeah, he took like some anti-steroids to like keep that prepubescent voice, I think.
Something.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can see where it can confuse people. But I also see where the whole Kanye West Sunday service, I'm sure, brought how many people into Christ at the same time, and so I wouldn't want to stop if Kanye felt led by the Holy Spirit, not his own spirit, to do that. I wouldn't want him to not do it.
But I feel like
if that's the case, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Then why hasn't like Ice Cube done an album pointed at Islam? You know what I mean? Like, why hasn't he done something like that? Why is it always Christianity? You know what I mean? Like is there music that exists? But is there a genre that exists with Islam music though? I don't because it's not like I'm trying to give him the idea right now.
But I'm saying,
these
artists aren't making up their own genre. They're just adding on to one that already exists. Is what I'm saying. So to say for Ice Cube to do that, I don't know if I get what you're saying. I'm not saying he couldn't do that, but I don't think it's as on his mind as somebody who's going to just another genre. This is almost if they went from rap to gospel. I mean, to a country or to something else. You know what I'm saying? It's another genre, but it is a spiritual genre that just say affects people's spirituality, their life, their soul salvation, whatever. And so that's where I think that's where people get the whole
they choose it. Look, we all have a choice, and they choose to spend the $10 or whatever on download.
Well, it's free now. I mean, you can listen on YouTube. You ain't got to pay.
Well, whatever. You're choosing it. We all have a choice, And I just don't. I don't buy it. To me, it just seems like a cash grab. You know what I mean? In the more righteous cases, it might just be like Justin Bieber's just like, well, I'm born again now. Like I put all my rambunctiousness behind me, and now I'm born again. So now I want to express this thing while making millions of dollars. Fine, okay, but it's always so narrow. The tunnel's always so narrow to me. That's why I don't pay it any mind, just because it's like. Look, let's just face it. Evangelical Americans, they're a gullible group. You know what I mean? They really are. If you tell them what they want to hear, they're going to listen. They stormed the Capitol because somebody said they should. You know what I mean? And if somebody says, like, Jesus wants you to listen to this album, they're going to be like, all right, well, let's download it. Let's get onto it. You know what I mean? So I think it's important for us to just take personal responsibility and just say what we believe and think,
Kelly, you was going to say something? Oh, because I had something, but I thought you was about to say something. I didn't want to. Okay. This is what I will say. I don't know. I haven't paid any of these people enough attention on their secular or gospel side to just say know what their intentions are, whether it's money, whatever. I don't know. Okay. But I will say that for anybody, whether you're a music artist or not, and I'm not even saying this to sound deep or spiritual or whatever, but I genuinely think it comes down to your heart. And what I mean your heart, not even just say the heart that the Bible's talking about, but just like heart, meaning like your intentions behind what it is that you're doing. Because yes, I feel like if you're doing anything solely for money, you're a fucked up individual. I don't care if you're selling food, because if you'll sell anything for money, that means you'll sell people some shit that might get them sick. You know what I'm saying? Or might whatever. If it's simply for money, you know what I'm saying? But everybody's going to put out a product. If you write a book that gives women advice on how to deal with men or how to, keep their legs closed to marriage, whatever. This is all information you could easily give out for free, but you're not, because you want to get compensated for your revelation, right?
Yeah.
I that's a whole nother podcast. I'm a little fickle about that. Okay. Well, but when it comes down to your heart, like I have literally had people who I'm talking about heavy in the streets when it comes down to selling dope, cuss me out for asking them, can I do what they do? You feel what I'm saying? They didn't stop doing it, but they shut me down saying, why would you
just ain't for you?
Why would you even want to even join this life? Like,
I do this because I have to. What the fuck are you doing?
It ain't even about that. They've gotten to points where they didn't have to no more. and still did. You feel what I'm saying? Went back and forth to jail, whatever the case may be. But I've not me personally, but I've seen just say drug abusers, whether it's crack, meth, or whatever, tell people not to do it.
Well, yeah,
they didn't. So the point that I'm making is that I personally ain't tripping about them making the double album. They could have put that bitch out at the same time for all I care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Righteous and Ratchet. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's
not the album,
not crazy.
Whatever the case may be.
You know
what I'm saying? But for
it's
me,
like saying going to an alcoholic and say, "Hey, should I become an alcoholic?" No, of course they're gonna say no.
No, but it ain't. But I'm saying it's not about going and asking. I'm saying I don't know if we can call somebody a hypocrite if they tell you to not do something that they do. But going back to a preacher, now if there is a preacher saying like, "Hey," if there's a preacher almost kind of like Derek Jackson, like saying like, "Hey, y'all shouldn't be doing this," and then I'm doing the same thing that I'm telling y'all not to do behind closed doors, like I'm hiding it while I'm also telling you not to do it. That's a whole different beast because now you being a shitty person. You feel what I'm saying? So if these people are making a gospel album and on that gospel album it literally portrays what God gave them to make, and then they go to the secular side and it portrays what God gave them to make on that one, because I mean God made us. You feel what I'm saying? So in my opinion, if they got that both sides, I don't think God is shocked. You know what I'm saying? I don't think God is thrown off. I just think us as human beings and Christians may be, because we're like, what is he doing? You know what I'm saying? But I feel like God definitely hears both sides. How he feels about both sides, I don't know. I'm not God, but I definitely know that he knows both sides before it ever came onto the track. And that's who all of us are, whether we make music or not.
Right.
We all have two sides. You know what I'm saying?
We're 32 minutes in. Let's hear from the ladies.
Well, I gave mine.
I mean, I waited to the end to talk.
All right.
Jesus.
Well,
I feel like they're quiet.
Well, no, I'm just
Janessa especially. I want to hear from
Janessa.
I'm gonna let you go, Janessa. I just want to close this off by just simply saying that to answer the question, in reference to affecting people who are new, I do think that it can affect them. I do think they may get a different experience than we got because we were introduced to just say church and Christianity and all that stuff a different route, like we talked about a couple podcasts ago. But even to my point of me asking a couple podcasts ago in reference to should pastors and preachers be more open about just say both sides?
Yes.
I feel like if people got that experience, I don't know if I would say that's necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, I think it's a fine line to walk, because I think it can be a slippery slope if your favorite, artist is sinning like sin, like left and right, but then they put out this whole gospel album and they got all these gospel artists and they got these interludes with sermons. You kind of saying what you were saying, like on one front they are portraying one thing, but then in the next breath they're kind of going against everything they just said on this album. And I think
do you need to take that call? Is that
huh?
I said, do you need to take that call?
That's not my phone.
That's mine.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, y'all.
It's all right. Somebody needs to get a hold of Kellie now.
It's Jesus calling.
That's Justin Bieber calling both of them. Tell me.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, here, let me pose this question to you, right? Let's forget about Kanye.
Hold on, let her finish.
Okay. All right, sorry. We got
no, I was just gonna say I think that it can be a slippery slope because one, you're getting mixed messages, and then also it's sometimes, depending on the situation, it might seem like, oh, I can love Jesus,
right,
but I can beat my wife, or I can love Jesus and I can do something that's completely against the teachings in Christianity.
Why did you immediately go to beat your wife? Like, why is that your go-to?
Yeah, I'm about to say Christian or not. I don't think nobody.
Yeah, I don't think that's not
Well,
good.
I was just trying to think of something that you just shouldn't do.
For sure.
Unless
So,
you're Muslim,
let's just
you
say
can beat
cheat
your
on your wife.
then.
Yeah,
This is
cheat on your wife, your husband, or
Right.
you know what I'm saying. But on this song, you're saying this, but in real life or on your secular music, you're saying this. Like, I just think it's sending mixed messages. And we're, like you said, Terry, we live in a world where people will soak up anything. Like, you could the sky could be blue. What was that thing where it was like 2 dresses on the internet and they were like,
oh,
is
yeah,
it
where
blue or gold? Like,
yeah, blue and black or gold and white.
I don't know what y'all talking
Which, by the way, it was gold and white for me. That's what I saw.
yeah, I think it was gold and white for me, but I'm just saying,
It was
like,
blue.
Okay, see, wait, now we've got conflict.
I don't even know what dress y'all talking about.
But yeah, I'm just saying that, you know, you can
Where you been?
say anything, and people will believe it.
Right.
And I just kind of sometimes worry, especially in today's day, when people are leaving the church and more accepting of whatever, you know, I feel like the world today is like, whatever you want to be, you can be. Whatever you believe is right. God still loves you. You can do whatever you want. You know, that's kind of the message that's being put out there. But is that, and I'm not saying yay or nay, I'm just saying,
right,
is that what we need to be pushing as, you know, God's children or God's family members or whatever you want to whatever you want to call it.
Or maybe even a better question, is that something that we should be pushing against? Because because we're not pushing it doesn't necessarily mean we're also trying to stop it either. So like, should we be trying to actually just say, for lack of a better term, preach against it?
Right. But then at the same time, you know, rest in peace to DMX, you know, he's one of those people who I feel like, Rudy, to your point, who has constantly talked about his struggles.
Right.
But at the same time will pray you under the roof, you know, under the floor. This man will pray or prayed you, you know.
For sure.
Ooh.
Well, that shows you the power of prayer.
Yeah, DMX, you know, DMX was not perfect in any way, but I think
none of us are. That's the whole idea.
But I think she said he was open with it though.
Yeah, he was very open with it. Like, it wasn't like he was telling y'all not to do.
You should be open.
Drugs, and then he was doing drugs. Like, you got what it was from him.
Yeah.
And I think because he did that, he was able to touch and reach people who are in similar situations like him, to your point, Rudy, of being more open.
It's like what Rudy said. If you're in a tough place and you're doing, you know, you're hooked on whatever, like, you want to tell other people, like, no, don't walk this road, man. It's rough,
right.
You know?
Right.
I think that's what DMX was doing.
Yeah, but he also, I believe, just from, you know, the videos or the interviews, just truly believed in God and loved the Lord.
But see, that even go back to something we talked about a couple podcasts ago. I think Kellie may have brought up with somebody when we were talking about like using words like profanity or whatever, like what's actually a sin and all that. Because like, if you think about like the words DMX says sometimes, but the context he used it in, it could kind of be like, you know, both sides. Like, 'cause he'll say like, you know, what these bitches want from a nigga. You know what I'm saying?
And I was about to say the Cisco part.
That's a
legit question though. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the way he worded it could be a little controversial. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that he should be just say taken out of the category of anointed because he uses the vernacular of bitches and nigga, as opposed to if he said, what do these saints want in this house of God? You feel what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he should use those words. I'm just saying I don't think that people should see that and be like, oh, well, he can't be anointed if he's talking like that.
Listen, as a white man, I don't think that dictates just
it.
to hear those words.
Right. I'm saying I don't call women bitches. I don't necessarily agree with the word, but I'm just saying, like,
no, I
don't think that necessarily takes what is on the inside of him.
Well, let's throw another layer on this. Right? Let's not talk about Justin Bieber. Let's not talk about Kanye West. People DMX, people who could be construed as like, oh, they're music artists, but they're also Christians and whatnot. How about this? What if like Slayer comes out, or Guar, or some heavy metal band comes out with a Christian album?
I was about to say, I don't know who the hell Slayer.
That's
I'm like,
they're
Slayer, War.
Use Marilyn Manson. That's a good one.
Okay, Marilyn Manson. Let's say Marilyn Manson comes out with a gospel album.
Right.
Is that sacrilegious, considering, Marilyn Manson, Slayer, Guar, they're all steeped in this whole, let's play around with sadism kind of thing, because none of it's real. Like it's all just show and fake. So what if they came out with a Christian album? Is that right? Is that wrong? I feel like that's way more of a tricky, answer to come up with. Like, is it okay for Marilyn Manson to have a gospel album?
I think it is.
Well, it wouldn't be gospel, first of all.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, and that's what I was going to ask. What I was going to say is like
a big black woman and a choir to be gospel. I
think one of the things that into somebody's, I don't know if there was their point earlier about things being trendy, but I think that R&B and gospel have similar sounds. And so it's easy sometimes, like you said, to throw Jesus in instead of baby in, and then it becomes this Christian song or this gospel song or this song about the Lord, because the sounds are so similar. I
believe South Park tackled that, where they said, basically, they just said, all you do is take a pop song, change baby to Jesus, and it's gospel now. Yeah.
And like I said, and so when you talk about, trend or whatever, and building or bringing in a different group of people, I can see that. But like I said, the heavy metal people can't make a gospel album. A heavy metal, not even taking out Christianity, the heavy metal people better not make no R&B album. Like, we just in two different, we just not gonna do that. Now,
Kellie's all about segregating the music community.
I'm not sure, because it's just not stay in your lane. Now,
stay in your lane.
Now, if we're saying the heavy metal artists are, now again, I have no idea what they're talking about in those. So, I mean, I'm guessing everyone is kind of talking.
Neither do
about
I, because they all sing like raw, raw.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about either. You're not alone.
If the roars are, I love the Lord, and you love the Lord, and it comes from and y'all want to mosh pit loving the Lord, and it like
mosh it up.
Go for it.
Well, there are, and I said that for a reason. There are heavy metal Christian bands. They do exist.
Cool, man.
There's Christian.
Google
Christian
that shit.
Hip hop. I mean, there's
exactly. Definitely.
There's Christian hip hop. There's some songs on the gospel radio when you turn them on, and I swore it was a good R&B song. And I'm like, we talking about the Lord?
Nigga, Yolanda Adams was playing in the club. That what's the song? Ask you for your guidance.
Open up my heart to you. Some of that.
That was playing in the club.
Man, how many times you heard Stomp in the club at the end of the night?
Right.
I'll go even bigger than that. Go on YouTube. You can find some videos. Be like, Jesus loves me. This I know. Like they go ham on.
But to answer your question, Terry, I don't think it's wrong with anybody making a gospel album, like
all right,
Marilyn Manson, whoever. But it still comes down to their heart. Like, are they? Because if their music normally talks about, just say like Satan or whatever it is that you say they're talking about. Sure. If they're literally saying like, just say like satanic stuff, like not just worldly stuff, literally like using the words like if they're actually using that word,
he's the best. Like,
right. So what I'm saying is that's all, like trying to take that exact format and then say make gospel is almost like asking somebody to have the lights on and off at the exact same time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's physically impossible. But if they're gonna step away from that message to then make a gospel album and actually push the gospel, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. But they can't try to say like, love Satan and Jesus. You know what I'm saying? No. Like that won't. That's
not gonna work.
No,
that's not a thing.
Kind of like what you were just saying, Rudy. I think there are some artists who, you know, who have done that. Like they've kind of had like a worldly album, and then they had, for instance, like a Christmas album.
Right.
And then their next one is they effing all these bees and hoes, and they about to
Prince.
Huh?
I'm just saying Beyonce.
Prince.
Beyonce, Chance the Rapper is another one who's like Team Jesus, and I love Chance the Rapper. But then like his last album, some of them songs I was like, wait, but you just had Kiara Sheard on the song before. Like, what?
Well, let's go back to the 90s. How about Amy Grant? Amy Grant was #1 on the pop charts and #1 on the Christian pop charts at the same time.
And that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like sometimes that can be confusing, especially if you're, you know, new to Christ or new to religion, because it's like your fave is singing about Jesus and then dropping it like it's hot for, you know.
Well, the reason I said Amy Grant was because Amy Grant started as a Christian singer, right? And only did Christian music. And then over here, she was like, oh, shit, they got a bunch of money for me over here. If I just sing a song and just replace Jesus with baby, like, you know, now I can make millions of dollars on top of it. Of course you're going to take it. Like,
but even the opposite way, like so when
well, Jesus wants you to be blessed. God wants you to be blessed, right? So here's the blessing over here.
Right. But what about when gospel artists?
You know?
So why I can't get a Tasha Cobbs when she had that song with Nicki Minaj.
Right.
And I was like, well, what was the purpose of this? You know, but still trying to bring in another group of people, you know, trying to do something different, you know, so it's not even.
No, go ahead. I just thought of something.
The purpose is the same.
Go ahead, Rudy.
The purpose is to make money.
What I was going to say is music, I don't care what genre it is, we have to remember that it's all entertainment. I don't care what genre it is. And the reason, this is why I say that. And you made me think of this, Kelly, when you said about the Nicki Minaj and Tasha Cobbs. Because we all know in the music industry, especially, and I ain't trying to be funny, but if you in black for sure, like Tasha Cobbs is a household name. Like she is a beast when it comes down. Like her songs, you can play the soundtrack during the service, and the physical people there will be tore up. You know, matter of fact, she is a big black woman. Matter of fact, belting,
middle age.
Listen, literally what you described here. So, she can sing her ass off. So
anointed,
but. It made me think about when I was a kid, one of them years the BET Awards came on, right? And Patti LaBelle performed live with Donnie McClurkin on one of his songs. It was one of his songs, like, you know, Stand, whatever it was. And they killed the song, right? But I remember my mom saying, Patti LaBelle need to stay away from gospel music. Because in her performance on the BET Awards, Patti was wilding. Like, I mean, she wasn't like twerking, but she was being Patti LaBelle. She was, she was singing how Patti would do. You know what I'm saying? She was doing her thing. You feel what I'm saying? And my mom was saying basically like, because she's kind of in performance mode as opposed to genuinely singing gospel. It's not that she didn't sound good. She was kind of more or less judging her heart behind it, right?
She wasn't ministering, she was performing.
Right. But what I'm saying is I've been in church all my life, people. Okay. If y'all don't know this about me, I've been in church since the nutsack into the womb. I'm serious. This is how long my parents have been in church. Gross. I have been there since I was a sperm cell. Okay. This is what I know. Okay. And listen to me. If you think Patti LaBelle is the only person who I've ever seen perform a gospel song and the church be tore up, I'm talking about, and people walking away at Sunday dinner at Golden Crowd talking about how anointed this person is, how this person need to sing every Sunday, this person voice, blah, blah, blah. But listen to me, that person was performing. I seen it in their actions. I seen it in the runs they hit. You ain't got to do all that. You could have sung this song normal, but you know your capability. And when you present anything, preaching, comedy, acting, singing, anything, all of it is never who you naturally just are sitting down on the couch. It comes with some type of charisma. It comes with some other side of you that goes into performance mode because your presentation is everything. And no matter what genre you sing or whatever, they know that. And so I'm saying all this to say we cannot judge a performer who does just say secular music and then when they come over to gospel holding on to that same thing, because if Kirk Franklin didn't perform, we wouldn't listen to him. His songs make us feel something. We like Stomp, we like Revolution. That was lit. You feel what I'm saying? Like all of these different things we gravitated towards it for more than just what we heard. You feel what I'm saying? It was what was behind it.
Let's throw this into the mix too while we're at it. The song "Let It Be," right, by the Beatles, famous song.
How does it go? I don't know if I know it.
Let it be, let it be, let it be. Mother Mary comes to me. All that, like it's steeped in religion and whatnot. But it was a song by the Beatles, very popular.
Gotcha.
But then a movie came along. They made a movie called Across the Universe. They made a movie called Across the Universe, which was based on the Beatles catalog. And what they did was they took the song "Let It Be" and they used it in a funeral scene, and they had a gospel choir redo that song in a gospel format. And I got to be honest, the first time I ever heard that version, like I like the Beatles and whatnot, but the first time I ever heard that version, it moved me. Like it really did. Like it took on a whole new life all unto itself. Like I wasn't thinking about Paul McCartney or, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't thinking about the Beatles. I was thinking this is beautiful, you know, and I highly recommend that you guys look it up. Across the Universe, Let It Be. It's on YouTube, and it really is. It's moving. It's moving to hear it. But does that negate what the Beatles did, or does it make it better? No, it's just different. You know what I mean? It's the same thing, but it's different. It invokes a different response. You know what I mean? And I think that's the end of the day is if you can make something that's personal and you make something that you really believe in, even if Kanye does it, you know, with his crazy ass, even if he does it, if the spirit is in it and your personality is in it and your belief is in it, then it's going to come through. It's going to come through in the music. And that's, at the end of the day, that's the high watermark is what does it actually invoke in you? You know what I mean? Because it could be anything. It could be secular music. It could be Christian music. It could be gospel music. Really doesn't matter. It's what does it bring out of you? It's just like the Bible says, you know, like, you know, what does it bring out of your heart? You know what I mean? Because it's not the words of your mouth. It's what comes from your heart that leaves your mouth. That's the difference.
I agree, Terry. It's a heart thing. That's why the Lord says, create in me a clean heart and renew a right. Is it a right mind, the right spirit within me? Don't quote me on that.
I'm telling you.
I think that's what the Bible should have told you before you started saying that. Like, don't quote me.
Look, I'm trying to give the people a scripture for the day. Okay.
No, I know, but the Bible was saying, like, don't quote me. You're going off on your own on this.
Right.
Kellie, you supposed to have my back. What's the verse?
She don't know.
Create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit within me. Boom.
There you go. Boom. There
Psalms
it is. But there's also
51:10.
Well, there's also a verse in the Bible that says, you know, when you need to pray, when you need to speak to God, don't do it on the mound. Don't go to the top of the pyramids. You go in your closets and pray away from other people. That way you're not making a spectacle of your conversations with God. You're not creating a spectacle by your worship. You're doing it alone in private because it's a private thing.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that had to do with anything, Terry.
I'm saying like
you lost me on that
Kanye's
one.
making a spectacle.
Yeah, but that's
Bieber's making a spectacle of his.
But that's not it.
Religion.
But I'm saying, that means every gospel artist would have to sing in their closet. They wouldn't be able to sing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just showing the duality. That's it. I'm showing the duality.
That's what I'm saying. I understand that scripture. I don't correlate it with this. You lost me on that. Either way,
I'm saying there's a duality between the two.
I get what you're saying. I just don't get the duality, is what I'm saying.
All right, fine. That's fine.
All right, Kellie Lee, come off mute and close us out.
Hang on. She got to get it together. Give her a second. This is dead air, Kellie.
You know, I was in 2 meetings.
Oh, you already started. Gotcha. Okay, we'll make this quick.
So this is where you can find us, y'all. The Worst Ones PK. No, sorry, at The Worst Ones PK on
That's
Instagram.
Right. When we're not in a homeowners association meeting, that's
gotta handle my business.
Business. Yeah, actually shook that neck a little.
But you can also listen to us wherever podcasts are found: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. No, it's not at this time. The Worst Ones Podcast. And you know, when you get there, you need to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.
Yeah, you don't want to miss one of these.
And Kellie is single, looking for a man. I'm gonna say it if her daddy don't. All right.
Negative.
She want a man to find her. All right. Kellie want to be married, y'all.
No, Kellie needs to run through a few.
She got a home. She got a whole homeowners association, everything. She legit.
No, Kellie's still in her 20s. She needs to run through a few more and then settle down.
Kellie, 45.
Kellie is in her 30s. You know what?
All right, I'm sorry. All right.
I'm sorry. I complimented her. My bad.
Laterra trying to shoot his shot. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I've shot my shot many times on here.
Y'all can follow me at Melanated Brews. Anything coffee, tea, beer related is on my blog. I actually just got back into keto yesterday. So
what is that? That's like some. No, I'm just kidding.
No, keto. I was on keto. Did it work out for you?
It did. I lost 50 pounds last time I did it, and I came off of it. I did it for like 4 or 5 months, and Rudy. I came off of it when COVID started. And so I gained all the weight back because I was emotionally eating.
That's
Rudy, you don't even know. Like keto's some real.
No, I know what it is. I know what it is. I know what it is. I was joking, just saying it was karate.
I lost 30 pounds on it. Like it's real shit right there.
So I'm doing it again. But of course, that's going to impact, the coffee I drink, the sugar and the creams and the flavors. So,
hey, just put some butter in it. I'm not even kidding. Put butter in your coffee. It's amazing.
I know what you mean, but I'm not doing keto forever. So come check out some keto stuff on Melanated Brews. And then hopefully by the end of the summer, we'll be back to, stuff that we were doing before keto.
So real quickly, can you elaborate to our listeners exactly, like, just say like an example of what you post on there with the brews and stuff that you show?
Yeah, so technically, I will go to a coffee shop. I try to go to places I've never been before, and I try to order something that I don't typically get. I'll talk to the barista and say what's the most popular thing, or if there's something that I see that piques my interest, I'll ask them for their opinion. And then on my post, I'll give you my personal review. Nobody's paying me for these opinions. So if it's bad, I'll tell you. And then I'll also give you like the coffee shop view, what it looks like. Cause I'm a type of person who likes to, do work or, at a coffee shop. I like to hang out at coffee shops. A lot of them still, obviously with COVID, are not allowing in-person dining. Some of them are. Right. So I'll give you a view of the coffee shop, and I'll let you know where I went, tell you to check them out. Most of them have been really good, so I haven't really had any bad experiences yet.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, what about the new? While we're on coffee, what do you feel about the new the strawberry elephant ear? Frappuccino at Starbucks that they came out with, where in one cup is like a double quarter pounder, like 1,000 calorie frappuccino.
That doesn't sound very melanated.
It's not melanated at all.
It doesn't sound like a melanated brew.
I love me a good frappe, but I have not had one. I haven't had that one from Starbucks.
You shouldn't. Don't get it.
Probably because it does have, like, some of them really have. If you look at the nutritional values, it will shock you. So yeah, I haven't had the pink.
Well, that's the one that everybody's talking about right now. Is that strawberry one with the the elephant ears you get at carnivals and things like that, like the fried dough. They got pieces of fried dough in there with strawberry syrup on top of coffee and this and that and all the other stuff. It's like, and you can get all that in one cup for the low price of your foot, like
the diabetic foot.
That's right. You get that diabetic foot and it's crazy.
Yeah, no, I haven't tried it.
No, I wouldn't try it. I'd stay away if I was you.
No, that's lit though, man. Yeah, man. Melanated Brews, man. Y'all get your coffee. Stay away from that elephant ear shit. All right, that's just dangerous.
It's no good. It's no good.
Terry Wayne, what you got?
Just Terry Wayne comedy. I got some shows coming up. I always put them on my feeds just so everybody can come out if they want to. Just did a great show for Ron Bow this past Saturday. Thank God. He had a stroke, but he came back, and now he's back doing shows again down in Broward. So I was happy to go out and support that and do that show. I'll be at the Red Light Comedy Show in early June. That's the big date coming up, I guess. Doing 25 minutes at a strip club. So
that's always fun.
Well, it is,
You should invite your dad.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not. I would too, because it's not like the Red Light Club is next to the strip club, but they're like connected. Right. So like you can leave the show and go into the strip club if you want, or you can go to the parking lot if you want. So like I'd have no problem inviting my dad to that. It's just a lounge at that point,
Gotcha.
Yeah. He'd be all right with it.
For sure.
He used to be a dealer before he was a pastor, so he gets it.
That always works.
Yeah. He was out on the streets.
Gotcha. So. All right. And for me, I don't have a personal social media, but I do want you guys to follow the podcast official page. I do have another podcast that I do host. It's more of an interactive podcast. It's not like a regular format where, geniuses like us come and talk about our opinions on stuff. We actually open up the Zoom room for everybody to join and be able to speak there as opposed to in the comments after you've already heard us speak and disagree. So we do it the last Monday of each month. You can join the Zoom call if you go to this at the podcast official page on all platforms, YouTube, everything. But if you go to Instagram, the Zoom link and all that stuff is on there for you to join, the number, all that jazz. So check us out, follow that. And an episode goes up on the third Monday. A new episode goes up on the third Monday. We shoot a new one on the last Monday. You feel me? Other than that, man, we out here in these streets selling drugs, popping bottles, slapping these hoes.
No, you are.
No, that's what we all doing. All four of us.
Speak for yourself.
We the worst ones, okay? No. We all leaving the church right now. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
I'm just out here disappointing my father. That's what I'm doing.
Appreciate y'all listening. We love y'all. God bless you. The doors of the church are open. Turn to your neighbor, say neighbor, all that. All right.
And also with you.